In the middle of Pine Grove Forest, where the trees stretch toward the sky and the rivers sparkle with sunlight, there lived a bear named Gus. Now, Gus wasn't like most bears. While others were cheerful and friendly, Gus was grumpy. And not just a little grumpy, he was as grumpy as a porcupine caught in a thorn bush. Grumpy Gus had only one rule: keep everything for himself. His honey jars, off limits. The soft patch of grass where the sun shone brightest, don't even think about it. And if anyone dared to touch the pile of berries he collected, well, Gus had a growl so fierce it could send even the bravest rabbit scampering into the bushes. The creatures of Pine Grove Forest didn't hate Gus, but they didn't dare come near him either. They whispered about him in hushed tones behind the ferns. "He's just misunderstood," said a curious raccoon. "Maybe his heart is made of stone," replied a timid squirrel. Either way, nobody tried to go near Gus's cave. That night, Gus sat alone in his cave, surrounded by jars of honey, piles of nuts, and the basket of berries he had worked so hard to collect. But instead of feeling proud, he felt something strange. His cave was quiet, too quiet. All the forest animals were celebrating Hazel's recipe with music and laughter. Gus could hear the cheerful commotion, birds chirping, rabbits dancing, squirrels chattering, but he wasn't part of it. Why should he care? Gus told himself. He huffed and turned away. But the noise continued, and Gus felt something he couldn't quite put into words. It wasn't anger, wasn't sadness, it was loneliness. The next morning, as the sun peeked through the trees, Gus decided to head back to the berry meadow. "I'll find more berries," he muttered. "More for me." But when Gus arrived, something had changed. Instead of squirrels and foxes steering clear of him, there was Hazel. She was perched near the bushes with an empty jar in her paws. The jar looked sad, no berries, no honey, just emptiness. Gus sighed deeply. "What are you doing here?" he barked. "I'm just hoping," Hazel said softly. "Hoping for what?" "Hoping for kindness," Hazel answered, her gaze steady. "You're strong, Gus, you collect so much, but strength means so much more when it's shared." Her words rattled something inside Gus, a feeling he had been ignoring for years. He looked at the basket he had brought back to the meadow, overflowing once again with berries. He could keep it all as he always had, or he could give. With an enormous grunt, Gus reached into his basket. It wasn't easy, handing a handful of berries to another creature. But Hazel's face lit up with joy, and she held the berries like treasure. "Thank you, Gus," she said. "I'll get started on the pies right away. Come by later. You'll have a slice waiting for you." Gus didn't answer right away. But as Hazel scampered off, Gus felt an odd warmth in his chest. The kind of warmth that made his grumpy growl a little softer, his steps a little lighter. And the animals, they cheered. From that day forward, Gus wasn't quite so grumpy anymore. When Hazel came by for berries, Gus didn't slam his door. When the foxes needed honey for their tea, Gus handed over a jar or two. And slowly, Pine Grove Forest became a much brighter place, thanks to the bear who learned to share.